Honesty Box. You have to remember this.
I don't remember Honesty Box.
Okay, so it was on.
It's not all set up yet.
It's fine. The whole thing's fine.
I know, I have to do this so it does that.
So the
whole turn it on in the middle of the thing.
Well, you said
Honesty Box.
You said we're trapped in a box of honesty.
We're trapped in a steel box of honesty.
Yeah. So like, do you remember? It was on old Facebook. It was called Honesty. So old Facebook when it was, God, it was around the times of Zanga.
I just want to Google this shit.
And like old Facebook used to have little widgets that you put in. So like I had a project playlist that you could like put a playlist box on that could play when you wanted it to. And there was like little games, and you could pop it up on your actual Facebook screen. You had different pages on your Facebook.
No.
And so I
turned on airplane mode and then immediately tried to do a Google search.
But like you get on there and like it had like different pages, and like here's the there was the My Personal DNA one.
Wait.
Where it's like the little test tube with like different colors. You know what I'm talking about?
Wait a minute. Are you sure you're not talking about Zanga?
I know I'm not talking about Zanga because it wasn't a blog thing. It was just like
you didn't have to do HTML.
No. It was all
they were
inclusive.
Just like widgets.
It was widgets, and you put it in, and there was like a whole like store that you could go through them. I remember there was one that was like, what kind of like fucking guru are you? Are you like a Gandhi or a John Lennon or some other thing? And you like had this. You know what I'm talking? You have to know what I'm talking about. And there was one.
Not really. I kind of do.
There was one called Honesty Box, and you could just say.
I kind of remember, but
you could say whatever you wanted, and it posted anonymously to their little private inbox about what kind of an asshole they were, and they never knew who wrote it. And you could ask people
man.
"Hey, you could put in my Honesty
the
Box."
Alzheimer's has already started.
Yo, shit! Yeah, that's right. We were going to talk about death and aging some more. We were supposed to pick up where we left off. I have no idea where we left off. I do not remember where we left off.
We just kind of left off saying we were going to talk about it more.
Yeah, but we were in it. We were talking
about dementia.
We were
hitting dementia hard. I don't fucking know. We should have.
The fact that we don't fucking remember.
Why didn't we do? Why didn't we do Why didn't we do a diligence?
Why didn't we fuck diligence? Welcome to I'm Not Comfortable With This.
And I'm Ben.
The podcast that gets worse every time. I'm Forrest. About more depressing shit. This has been a really cool, uncomfortable episode. I like this one.
Yeah, I want to come back and talk more about. I want to talk more about, like dying and mental problems, and I want to hit more on the body too, because we didn't.
Yeah,
I want to hit on the body,
and I also
because like the shit that can go wrong with your body, we have both personally witnessed.
Precisely, yeah, and I also want to talk about enjoying life more, and about.
I don't want to push anything crazy, but it's bad.
Yeah,
some of the things that can happen.
That sums it up. That's what we were going to talk about. So we were going to talk about. Is that a good transition to the actual episode?
I don't like that. Are you holding the phone up to the microphone?
Yeah, well, that way people can hear what we were talking about.
No, I was totally casual.
I could splice in the actual audio, or I could reveal that we just pulled my phone out and checked.
We'll put the cut in, and then we'll pick up now where we left and be like, remember how cool it was when we remembered?
All right.
It's up to you.
No,
it's up to you. It's either that or this stays in, and now everybody knows that I'm a fucking scummy radio guy. It's like. Lie to the audience.
No,
yes.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Either one is now like palatable. I'm sure.
So we were gonna talk about how the body gets worse, and we were gonna talk about enjoying life now.
Yeah, I think it's good. At some point, we should definitely bring up how like the good things about aging. And I'm not that old. I'm only 30, but I've noticed some things that come with age.
Shit already going wrong.
No, I've noticed some things that are good. So I think we should talk about that later at the end. And I think, now we should start with the things that are bad.
Just dive into the shit of it.
Yeah.
Be kind to your knees, y'all. Is what I know. I've got fucking. So I don't know. I don't remember how much like we went into anything about physical debilitation. So I'm just gonna start from scratch as if we didn't talk about anything.
Knees.
I'm 29, and
Ugh.
I have a hard time.
That's the worst.
Is it?
Yeah, because 30 is bad for like 2 months. You turn 30, and for like 2 months, I was just like, oh God.
Mm.
But now it's just kind of like every day is oh God, so it's fine.
You're just used to it.
Yeah.
That's the thing is that like you knew me when we were very young. We knew each other when we were like 15, 16 years old. And I remember not being able to fathom being 18. And then we hit 18. And I was like, okay, cool.
Wow, neat.
You know, yeah, I'm an adult now.
Golly.
And I was like, I'll never really be old, though. And then I was like 20, 21. I was like, yeah, all right, cool. Now I'm a real adult, man. Now I can do anything now. And then I hit like 25. I was like, oh, shit, this is pretty
weird.
cool. I can do some stuff. And then like 26, I'm like, I'm closer to 30 than I'm not. That feels strange, but I'm still in my mid-20s.
Yeah, and I'm figuring things out.
And then every day after 26 has been, I'm almost 30, I'm almost 30, I'm almost 30, I'm almost 30. Like, and I don't know why, because like it's not
fine.
like a big fucking deal.
It's fine.
I feel like my life is just starting. Like I feel like I'm just kind of picking up speed and like kind of figuring out what I want to do and who I want to be. I don't feel like 30 is the end anymore, but if you ask 15-year-old me, 30 is you might as well die. You know what I mean? You're outdated and old and useless now. Yeah. And like now I'm here and I'm like, no, I've actually got a lot of shit way better off than way better.
It doesn't seem like that, but then think about it, it's like, oh, 30's not that long, but then when you start to break everything down,
yeah,
and especially if you go explain it to a younger person,
oh yeah,
so just separate the time frame. So you and I met in like what, 2000
ninth grade.
So it was like 2007.
Yeah, it's 2006 probably. Yeah,
yeah. So it's like fucking 2021 now. Like,
yeah, it's crazy, yo.
It's normal. It's completely average. Every single person deals with this experience. It's just terrifying.
But that's the thing is
it's inescapable.
And it's inescapable and it's weird. And I've never. This is a dumbass statement, but like. I've never had to deal with it before, so I don't know what to do. And it's
Think about how many people you hope you just like don't ever run into again.
That's, and you know what?
And it's not because like even it's not in every situation. It's not even because like you were shitty or they were shitty or whatever. It's just in general. As you get older, there's a lot of people where you're like, I just hope I never see them again.
It's crazy because as I get older, there's more and more of those, and it's more and more likely that I will never see them again. And that's fucking great.
That's cool. But then, like, there's other stuff. Like, sometimes I get pains.
Yeah.
For no
Yeah, that's
reason.
what I was going to say. So I'm 29, and I have a hard time getting up and down. Not because my back or my knees, it's because of my wrists. I have, like...
Because you fucked them up.
Yeah, because I used to fight all the time, and I didn't wear hand wraps or anything.
Yeah.
And so, like, I fucking used to hit a punching bag for hours at end. I used to get into fucking dumbass fights with my friends in a parking garage. And, like, now, every time I, like... prop myself up on a bent wrist, it fucking kills me. And so I have to like get up using my fist sometimes not, but like there's like I'll have a bad week every now and then, and those are more frequent now.
Yeah, like fucking like my wife gets this thing in her hands where, and she's only 27, but she gets this thing in her hands where sometimes when she wakes up, like they snap open and shut. And they make this click click like
and a crab.
Yeah, and she's like, listen to my hand, and I'm like, stop.
Be gone, crab wife.
Yeah, like, but also I'm like, we gotta get you to a doctor
or something. Yeah, man,
something isn't
rough.
good. I feel like this is gonna be a problem later, and it usually like is. Sometimes she's like, I can't open my hands.
I can imagine how that would be frustrating for everyone involved.
Yeah, I'm like, you fucking need to go to work. You gotta put them on the wheel. Put them on the steering wheel and you drive to work. I don't care if they won't open. You just kind of like,
you just shimmy
N64 it.
Just put your fucking, just hold everything in your fist mitt.
Fucking, your new name is GoldenEye.
Oh my god.
which is also from like 2001.
Yeah.
No, I think it's like 98, 99.
When sometimes I used to do this when I was a kid. I still do it today, just absentmindedly for fun. Like fucking just lock my hand into a position and just try to manipulating my phone with like my hand just in this shape. And that's like, I'm James Bond.
Yeah, I used to be a real fucking idiot. I used to do a bunch of dumb shit.
Fucking yeah, dude, but it's cool because like also I know I've talked about this before, but I'm gonna say it again because we have like we're coming up on several episodes, so there's no way.
Yeah, this is probably like the third, or the fourth one we've done.
You know what's crazy? This is episode 20. But like
I know.
A bunch of our episodes
You'd be
were...
surprised how much I actually pay attention to.
This is episode 20, but several of our episodes are over an hour. We have recorded for more than 24 hours now. There is more than a full day of our dumbasses on the internet. Do you ever think about that?
No, I think about 100 and 200 and 300
hours. Like when we get
episodes.
there. Oh, episodes. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, it's a long game. It's something you do till you die.
That's what it is.
No, but it really is. It's fucked up. It's fucked up, but I think it's great. Like it sucks because there was a time when if I had come up with the idea to like, and I'm not. That sounds weird. Like we came up with this idea, but I've been doing like stuff like this for a while now, off and on.
Yeah.
And like when I started doing it, if I had done it younger, it would have been more idealistic and nicer.
It also would have been exponentially worse because we were worse people.
Yeah, my experience is much greater.
We were much less interesting.
And like, but yeah, because we've just done more now. But like, that's the thing is like, but also like, I know I've become a lot more like apathetic and cynical in a lot of like categories.
Yeah.
As part of aging, and I don't know where. Like, I haven't fucking like gone conservative or anything. But,
right.
Like,
just there's less shit that you can worry about.
Yeah, I'm like I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Right now, I have other shit to do.
But like I'm saying, like
the rat race.
I know we've talked about this before, but you know, we're 19 episodes in. There's no way I can expect everybody to hear everything. So like what was I saying? Right, fucking my grandma. Was born...
I do expect them to listen to every episode.
You fucking better.
Yeah, no, once you stumble onto us.
My grams was born in 1925. She died a couple of years ago. She was 93, I think, when she died.
That's up there.
It's up there. She was born in a time when having a telephone in your home was like a luxury. And she lived through black and white TV to color TV, civil rights movement, fucking moon landing.
Let's
computers.
Because I'm sure most people listening to us are probably around our age. But just in case you're not, I want to add the perspective that like having a telephone in her house was also like having like a rotary telephone.
Yeah. It was something bolted to the wall. Yeah, and you had to call fucking an operator. It
was like something that you like in a Sherlock Holmes movie would be a murder weapon.
Exactly. You picked up the telephone and held it up to your ear and talked into the wall, and a woman would just be like, "Who do you want to talk to?" And you're like, "I'd like to dial 8, please." And
Put
she'd
God on the phone.
She'd move the wires around. She'd check with the president to make sure it was
call
cool.
8.
Yeah. Fucking, call, because there's only fucking 5 other people in the whole country that have a phone, and one of them fucking
was your grandmother.
Was my grandmother. But like, yeah, so
perspective ruined.
This is the whole. So like, she died at a time. Literally, the last conversation I had with her was I read a story to her that she used to read. It was a poem, The Song of Hiawatha. And she used to read it to me when I was a kid. It was one of her favorites. Yeah. And she's laying there in her fucking deathbed, like barely lucid, cognizant, kind of rambling. And she was, I remember I went over, I talked to her, and she was just like barely like grumbling out like, "You and I have to agree that there's a power involved in the system of the working," just rambling nonsense. Like,
did you agree?
No. I told her she was wrong. No, I don't know what she was saying. She was saying just nonsense.
No, I know the type of shit they say.
And so I
deal with it too, and I'm just like, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
But I pulled out my cell phone, I pulled out The Song of Hiawatha, and I started reading to her. "Down the shores of Gitchigumi" is how it starts. I'll never fucking forget that. Or "On the shores of Gitchigumi." And I started just reading, and I just read this poem off of my cell phone that I pulled up on the internet, and she fucking just woke up and just like, you're a good person, and that's why you're my favorite grandson, and you're a good person. We just had an awesome conversation after that, and then I left, and she fucking died. And so that's that whole thing. But it blows my mind that she was born in a time when having a cell phone was like a crazy thing, and died with me reading off of my smartphone, something that she loved as a kid, and like then she passed on to me as a kid that I now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, because that's that really cool part of it too, which is like the more things change, blah blah blah.
Yeah, and so like I'm looking at my life.
Still
you and
the
I,
same humans.
Yeah,
yeah, like.
So we started this episode talking about fucking old Facebook. I remember playing, like, I would love to go down this nostalgia pathway with you if you're down for it, because I know we were going to do more Death and Aging, but
we'll
like,
get there.
I'd be cool connecting these. Like, I remember, like, some of the cool games that I played when I was a kid. I remember fucking, the first video game I played was fucking Mario and Mario Bros on the NES, you know what I mean? My dad had one.
Dude, oh my god, and Duck Hunt?
Yeah, I had a fucking, I had the still have the blaster, the light gun. I remember playing Mario 64 and struggling to find all the stars.
And thinking it was the shit.
Yeah, I remember when cheat codes were a thing. I remember when you've had to fucking look up a walkthrough online, and I remember fucking sharing
secrets. Did you ever
secrets.
call the fucking Nintendo helpline?
Yes!
Oh my god.
I got Nintendo Power Magazine.
There were other ones too for different like developers, but the one I remember the most was calling Nintendo. Like you got stuck in a game, you called this fucking number.
Yeah.
And I think they charged like a fee.
Yeah, they help you out.
but then they're like, have you tried this? And then the guy says what to do in the game next, and then you go beat the game, because that was like right in the lead up to the internet. And they were like, "Yeah, I got you on the phone, motherfucker."
But like, there's so many nostalgic things that like now I'm seeing the youths of today kind of talk about and share. Like I see a lot of kids, they're like fucking 18, 17, wearing fucking old Nickelodeon t-shirts.
All gonna die.
I've seen a lot of kids that could be my child wearing a t-shirt with like Real Monsters and Cat Dog and Angry Beavers.
Also, do they know?
No, they don't know shit.
They don't know shit.
But I'm not going to be the gatekeeper and be like, you can't enjoy this because you didn't grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's like for a lot of them, it's like I found this cool shirt.
It's kind of nostalgic. Yeah.
It's like okay.
I really hope that you fucking go look up those things and enjoy them. It would mean so much to me for no fucking reason. And so like, all I'm saying is now
probably will eventually.
Living in the world that we're in, you know, it's nuts to me to think about how young people are growing up in this. I remember being the computer wizard of the family because I knew how to plug in a fucking monitor, and everybody looked up. And now I don't fucking I could never imagine how to use one of those Microsoft like Surface Pros. You know,
struggling to well, man, they're cool as fuck.
They're so cool. I've never had the opportunity to play with one. I'm sure I could learn how to use it, but I haven't. And so like, it's so fucking cool to me seeing this world, and I feel like my own grandma, you know what I mean, seeing everything change so fast, and how much changed in the almost 100 years she had.
Like my own grandma.
You heard it here first, folks.
Isolate that and disperse it across the web.
That and fucking begone crab wife.
Begone crab wife.
Yeah. It's fucking nuts, yo, and I feel like an old fuddy-duddy. Fucking like looking at these youths.
Yeah, right.
But like,
then your body acts up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then I'm like, oh man, these kids, I can go teach them some cool shit about my childhood. And then I try to get off the couch and my wrists hurt. And I'm like, oh man,
I gotta take an aspirin. Having some fun.
Hey, get off my lawn, you kids. Back in my day, we respected our elders in the...
It's fucking terrifying.
I caught Calvin Coolidge naked in the pool.
It's terrifying how, like, sometimes you'll just snap on kids and be like, hey, none of that. No fun. No.
Stop it.
Stop. There's work being done here. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's all. I mean, those are fun conversations.
Right.
That are fun. It's like, isn't this fun to think about?
Sometimes. So I guess the biggest thing that I would say, the biggest change now, as I'm approaching 30, is that whenever I have an ache or a pain or a medical issue, I'm like, okay, is this forever? Is this what I gotta worry about? Like that's I guess that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, no, I've learned now that my back pain is forever. Yeah, I learned. So I had this job. I wasn't good to my back, and I didn't exercise enough. Like I do the most exercise now in my 30s, and it's still not really enough. But it's better than what I was doing.
Right.
But like, and again, it is only spurred on by the fear that if I don't do enough exercise and stretching before I try to walk around, I'll fucking have to stay in bed for 2 days. So what happened was I was bending down to pick up like a bunch of paper, and it sounds pathetic, but it's when I say a bunch of paper, it was like a big job with like a lot, like it was heavy paper. We were printing these giant print jobs in a big mail shop type place, and so it was like way too much. Because I'd cut all this bad shit off of a big.
We've all been there.
Big roll.
You had to cut bad shit off a thing.
It was like probably like it ended up being over 100 pounds, and I just wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
And I just fucking went to pick it all up, and it's paper, so it flops.
Yeah.
And so it just flopped wrong, and I felt my back give out, and I fell down, and I got back up, and I powered through the night, and then I was fine. Well, not fine, but I was like okay for the next like few months, and then like a year, and then it went away, and then like a year later I was walking in my front door and my back went out for no reason. It started hurting in the car, and I got out and I walked in my front door, my back went out, and then I fucking fumbled to the couch. I screamed the loudest I've ever screamed, and I was in the most pain I've ever been in my life. And my wife tried to help me, couldn't help me. I was freaking out. I couldn't like give her any good direction because I was fucking freaking out. Because I just couldn't move.
Oh, yeah.
And then I laid down. I got down on the floor to make the pain stop, and I just laid there. And the pain didn't really stop, but it didn't get any worse anymore.
Right.
And then it would just throb in and out, and it was like in the base of my spine. And I laid on the floor for like 3 hours, crawled to my room, and then laid on the floor next to the bed. She kept trying to get me to go to the hospital, and I wouldn't do it because I suck. And I was like, no. They're going to make me pay money. And which is literally my reasoning.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
And she gave me some medicine that knocked me out, and I just passed out for fucking I laid on the floor for like 16 hours.
Oh man.
I passed out for like 8 hours, woke up the next day, went to sleep, woke up the next day, realized I hadn't moved at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
I was just like fucking in like a fucking sarcophagus fucking pharaoh fucking position. And then after I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 more hours of that, I finally was able to get up, and then I rested and did a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Exercises, stretches, cold, heat and cold.
Yeah.
All that shit, and back brace and everything, and after a few days I was able to get back to normal. And then I had to look up stretches and shit to do every day.
Right.
Because sometimes in the morning, I'll wake up and I'll feel my back and I'm like, oh God. It's trying to fucking do the shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's trying, and I don't have time for that.
Dude.
That's the thing is it's if it was okay, I need to call into work and take 2 days off and rest my back.
Right.
Fine. But I can't.
How could you possibly? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
That's the thing. You said you don't want to go to the hospital because they'll charge you money. I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I want to quit saying that because we've said as many things. We've talked for over 24 solid hours. I'm gonna repeat my fucking self. There have been multiple times where I have been vomiting blood, and I've been like, we'll see if this goes away within the next 2 days. I'm not going to the hospital yet. I don't have $30,000
it's
on
you
me.
Fucking throw up a fucking purple black substance and a demon flies out. And
but I don't feel anything missing, so I think I'm okay.
And they're like, oh, we'll see how this develops.
I horked up something pink the size of a kiwi fruit.
Just fucking flies out and breaks a vase, and you're like, that can't be.
That's probably fine.
It's fine. It's fine because the hospital's going to charge me a lot for that. And here's the thing, too. For whatever's going on with my back, I know just with my family history and stuff, I know it's something that can't just be I can't just go into the doctor's oh, yeah, you take this medicine and do this and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Do these exercises and it'll be fine. I know that I can, do exercise and fix my back a little bit and make it better and stronger, but, the shit that's going on is gonna be they're gonna want to do surgery, and I'm just no.
Yeah.
Because once you start, it's once you pop, The fun don't stop.
Surgeries all the time. You're just addicted to surgery.
But you know what I'm talking about. Once
Yeah.
you start, it's kind of like, okay, now you need this surgery. And it's not like, oh, they're evil doctors trying to just cut people open constantly, but it's like...
Things continue to get worse, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because, like, we don't have the best healthcare in the world.
It's more of a symbology?
Right.
It's more of a symbolism.
We pay the most for healthcare, but our healthcare is, like, the 30th best in the world. Like, it's not that fucking good. You know what I mean? And so, like, shit does go wrong. We have good doctors, but also we, have a lot of other shit that's not that great.
Even if you have the best medical infrastructure and technology in the world,
your
right
body's
now,
going to continue sucking.
It's still not that good.
Yeah,
like it's not robot bodies yet.
Right.
So like I did see a really cool fucking thing. I haven't looked it up yet to see if it's real, but I guess they 3D printed like a little neural sleeve.
Ooh.
That they can put on a heart. They fit it over your heart and then it pumps.
Neat.
So if your heart just stops pumping, I guess they could potentially fucking surgically put one of these little sleeves over your heart. Also, I'm pretty sure that like some shit's gonna be coming down the pike soon because what a horrible term to use when I'm talking about medical technology. Anyway, fucking these little superconductors. Have you seen that shit?
Oh yeah.
The new superconductor, like they're like, yeah, it's like a AAA battery, and it's like it's so small.
Have you seen?
It's so small.
Have you seen the biopsy nanobots?
No, but probably.
They're old. They were around.
Yeah, then I've seen it.
They were breaking news back in like, probably 2016.
Oh yeah, okay, this sounds great.
There were these little, they're nanobots. They're really, really, really tiny little things that are shaped like little starfish.
Yeah, and
they're sharp. And their whole job, they don't have a computer in them. They just, when they hit certain tissues in your body, it electrically charges them. They're conductive, I guess, and that makes them just like squeeze. It makes the starfish ends clamp, and they would just tear off a tiny, tiny little piece of you, and then you just pass a magnet over them and slurp them all up. And that's how you do biopsies. Instead of taking a little chunk, you just spray a few of these in there, scoop them up with a magnet. The rest of them you poop out, and you never even notice. You know what I mean? It's like they're so fucking neat.
Cool.
And
this was at the time. To have this incredibly invasive procedure done if they think that you have like stomach cancer.
Yeah. Then there was the same thing. It was like back when we were working with I don't remember when we stopped. I don't know if we're still I don't think we're still using technetium for cancer. But there was a time when it was being experimented with, and I remember learning about it that same time. I think it overlaps. Technetium is an element. It's on the periodic table. It's right after molybdenum. And tech is the word for artificial, and so technetium is an artificial element. It has a space on the periodic table.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, so the thing that defines an element,
I understand like that,
is protons.
Yes.
Okay, so technetium doesn't exist in nature. It's a totally unstable number of protons. So it's right in the middle of the periodic table.
Hang on, what?
Well,
we invented a fucking element called technetium?
Yeah. Well, we it's synthetic. We make it.
That's cool as shit. When did we do that?
Invented. Let me look it up here really quick.
What does it do?
So technetium was discovered by Emilio Segre in 1937 in Italy. And basically what it is, so I shouldn't say it doesn't exist in nature.
1937? Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, bro.
Well, here's how it worked, okay? So, like, the way you make it is that because the definition of an element is the number of protons you have, molybdenum is right next to technetium. And when molybdenum is hit with ionizing radiation or, like, blasted by subatomic particles, you can make it into technetium. And so it was discovered in the 1930s when this guy was experimenting with molybdenum that had been blasted with fucking ionizing radiation, and it had turned into technetium. And so the cool thing about it is that depending on the isotope, depending on how you make the technetium, it's going to decay. It's going to break down, and you can have it do that at different times. Like you can have it last an hour or 2 hours or 8 hours or whatever like that. And so the whole idea behind technetium was that rather than getting a radiation therapy where you like blast your whole chest to try to hurt the lung, that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would make some, 30-minute technetium and like put it right on the tumor. and that way when it decayed and released gamma radiation, it would just hit right there where it was. Or you could use it to either attack the tumor or also to get like the most awesome comprehensive 3D fucking image of it, like through like, you know, like radiographing. So like that's what it fucking I forgot how we got here.
So why'd they quit using it?
I don't know. I just remember learning about it at the same time and it blew my fucking tits apart.
So you were saying, because I brought up the artificial heart sleeve.
That's what it is.
That they developed.
I'm looking up technetium cancer treatment.
No, quick, man.
No, I think it still is used. Technetium 99 is not only used in cancer treatments. It's injected into the body. It binds through our blood cells, so we can use it to map malfunctions in the circulatory system as well. Yeah, it's still used. This is fucking tits. Okay. I'm so excited about this.
All right, buddy.
I thought this wasn't a thing anymore. I thought it was outdated. Oh, I'm genuinely stoked about this right now. Fucking, this is cool as dark.
So that's gonna help us live longer.
No.
Uh-oh.
Maybe. I don't know.
Shit. I thought we could build bodies out of technetium.
Well, it's not unheard of either, because like when you have thyroid cancer, your thyroid is the only part of your body that uses iodine, and so you can take a pill of radioactive iodine and it will go to your thyroid and radiate your iodine, and you don't have to go to the doctor and get blasted in the neck with radiation. You just take this medicine and it literally, these atoms can only go to your thyroid, and then they decay and they radiate and kill the cancer in your thyroid. That's the thing you can do. You know what I mean?
That's so weird.
How fucking awesome is that?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
And then you get fucking glow jaw.
Have you ever heard of Fossy jaw?
Yes.
It's terrifying.
Yes. Which is something you can get, but you're not likely to get that. You know, you are definitely likely
not unless you're making matches and fucking, what would it be? Like pre-industrial America.
Yeah, they were doing a lot of cool shit.
Post-industrial.
They were doing great stuff. They were like, this makes all the paint glow. And they were like, yeah, make everything glow.
Radium. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good shit. So they were like, look at that. Now you can always find everything you own.
Radium's fucking cool. Until you realize how
right up
horrible
until
it is.
like you do everyone who worked there died
of the same kind of cancer. And it's interesting. It was always a like uterine cancer, because the table was right there at their pelvis. It was right there at their waist, and so
Jesus,
it would radiate them in the same place. It's the same way we used to do. So you can, if you have a piece of I think it's phosphorus paper. You can blast it with X-rays and it'll glow. And you put your bones over it, and it'll show a perfect shadow of your bone. It's like in the old Bugs Bunny cartoons when they would have like the X-ray screen they pull in front of them, you could see them moving around behind it. That was a real thing. You blast X-rays and you get a real-time image of what was going on there.
That's how they used to do it?
Yeah, and you could
That's fucking crazy.
In shoe stores, they would have an X-ray box, and you'd put your foot in it, and you could see the bones in your foot, and you could wiggle your toes around and see the bones of your foot in this thing. And a bunch of people got foot cancer and shit, and they stopped doing it. And now we do very, very small doses of X-rays in very controlled settings, because you're exposed to a lot of X-rays all the time. If you've ever gotten on an airplane, you have been saturated in X-rays.
Yeah, freak them out, Forrest.
But
just in case you're wondering, we live in a radiated hellscape.
Yeah, it's wild, yo.
Yeah,
you know what's fucking
It's probably
crazy?
Gonna get worse because we're fucking up the atmosphere, which is
blocking out the X-rays from the sun.
The only thing that stops us from dying.
the ozone blocks off a lot of
ozone
radiation.
schmozone.
And there's a hole in the ozone the size of Antarctica right now that's just floating around the whole planet, just moving about.
It's fine. Listen, here's the way you got to look at it, right? The Earth already took a gun to its head
by making us. Fucking, there's if you think about it, the spectrum, the electromagnetic spectrum, it goes from radio waves, which are bigger than the Hoover Dam, all the way to gamma rays, which are smaller than atoms.
It's terrifying to think about, like, a wave.
Yeah.
Of are we talking about, these are, hold on, these are radio or light, which I know that's complicated, but these, like.
So to clarify for everyone, light, just light in general, is electromagnetic radiation. So literally every color you see, all the light that you can see is between, I believe, 40 and 70 nanometers in wavelength. Mm-hmm. So the from crest to crest of each wave. So between 40 and 70 nanometers, that's what your eyes can pick up. And that's all the colors of the rainbow. The longest wavelength that you can see is red.
Yeah.
And then orange, yellow, blue, green, and then or green, blue, and then purple. is the smallest wavelength you can see. Just smaller than violet is ultraviolet. That's the wavelength of light that you cannot see, but that's what gives you a sunburn. And you know what I mean? That's what does that.
I do know what you mean.
Beyond that is X-ray, which is small enough to get through your skin.
Because I'm Syrian? What's up?
No, I'm saying just in case nobody knows. X-rays are smaller than you can see, but they're small enough to get through your skin, but they're not small enough to get through your bones. So they bounce off your bones because your bones are more dense, and that's where X-rays images come from. Gamma rays are smaller than atoms.
Terrifying too, though. When I think.
Oh, for real. X-rays are smaller than atoms, or gamma rays are smaller than atoms, and they give you fucking cancer or turn you into the Hulk.
Nope.
They give you cancer because they can blast your fucking DNA apart.
When did they turn you into the Hulk?
When you're fucking the best gamma ray scientist in the world.
Never. I'm gonna say it's never.
Who tries to reinvent the Captain America super serum and realizes that Howard Stark's used Vita rays instead, and those were actually gamma rays, and so you try to make the serum and you end up turning into a horrible giant green Jekyll and Hyde monster.
Is this real?
I'm pretty sure that's the story. I don't know. I'm not that into it. I just kind of like superheroes sometimes. I don't know very much about them. I'm pretty sure that's the story, though.
I don't know, man.
And then on the other end of the spectrum, just bigger than red.
It is now a comic book podcast.
Bigger than the red color that you can see is infrared, and that's the wavelength of body heat is putting on.
I often see the red color.
Everything that has any heat whatsoever puts off some amount of light. And so, like, our body heats put off infrared radiation.
That's so crazy. I always forget that that's, like, a thing.
Energy can't just be destroyed, so it has to convert into other things. And so energy usually radiates off of something as light and heat.
Oof.
Thermal energy.
And then when you get
think about this for a second. Think about this for a second. This is fucking cool. So you think about a brakes on a car. So the wheel's turning, the rotor's turning, and the brakes, the front brakes, the disc brakes.
Yes.
You have the turning rotor, and then you have the calipers on the sides that squeeze the brake pads into the rotor. So they're literally just squeezing this thing to stop it from turning. That's how they work. Mm-hmm. That's converting mechanical energy, rotation, into the friction is the thermal energy. So you're making thermal energy, and then that also produces light. Is the if you're braking hard enough, you can even see it. It'll start to glow red and orange.
Yeah, it gets hot.
Yeah. And so, but it'll be putting off infrared light anyway. So that's exactly what it is. It's converting mechanical energy into thermal energy and into light energy. And so that's infrared. A little bit bigger than that is microwaves. So like when you cook with your microwave oven in your house, you're literally shooting low energy light at your food, and that low energy light hits water molecules and gives them energy, and the water molecules start to vibrate, and that's what we call heat. And so you're literally using light to heat up food. That's what a microwave is. How fucking great is that? And then you got a little bit bigger than that is the waves that do like your cell phone, 4G, 5G, all that lives just outside of microwaves. And then the longest waves are radio waves, which radio waves, think about this, the longest radio waves are AM. They are literally longer than the Hoover Dam from crest to crest, and they travel at the fucking speed of light, 186,000 miles per second, and they go into a little antenna on your car. Your car antenna can see them. And all they're doing is their electromagnetism, and they fucking go in there, and they just kind of slosh these electrons around, and those sloshing electrons interacting with this light moves a magnet that vibrates a drum, and that's what makes your radio go. Yeah. You are literally listening to light. And that's not just that, because if you're on fucking
wizard magic.
If you're on Wi-Fi, actually if you have any internet right now, that's what's happening now, is it's converting, especially if it's Wi-Fi or 5G or whatever you're listening to on, like that's what's happening now. You got our voices being translated from the light waves passing through the air. And you think about this, these are all electromagnetic waves. They're the same thing as the colors that you see. It's just that you haven't evolved to see them. So even in a dark room, it's blinding light everywhere. If you turned on the radio in a pitch black room, you could still pick up the NPR. And so there's light everywhere.
You are saying quite a bit of things for a dead man.
I forgot we were talking about death. Shit! I went on a tangent. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry,
I love
y'all.
listening to you talk about like fucking... Because here's the problem.
I love talking about fucking.
I love talking about fucking with you. No, but like I can listen to that shit. But here's the thing: is that like we gotta fucking talk about how bad it is to
be alive.
And that stuff is all really fun.
Oh man!
So I hope everybody enjoyed that.
It's over now. It's never coming back.
No, we should actually do a whole episode talking about like the spectrum of fucking light and shit. And we should have a more scientific based episode. Right now, though, I want to talk about fucking renal failure.
It's gonna be that for the whole hour. It's just me going.
Let's just talk about so like so let's start small, right? Small. How fucking far in are we? First of all, can you give me a minute count real quick?
Oh, we got about 30 minutes left.
Fucking Christ. Man, isn't science cool? So fucking...
Well, according to this thing, we're 41 minutes in, but according to my watch, we're only like 35 minutes in. There's a lot you're gonna cut out. So... No. We'll see. We'll do.
It's fine. It's
25.
Fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Go on.
Go on. What I'm trying to say is, have you ever had a kidney stone?
No.
Okay, me either. But like,
cheers.
Do you ever think like sometimes like I might have one, like maybe one's about to happen? Like,
are you just saying that occasionally your urethra is excruciating and you just deal with that? Is that what you're telling me?
No, not usually, but sometimes.
You may have a kidney stone.
That's happened before.
You just said it hasn't.
No, I've never had. The pain has happened.
Oh.
Not the kidney stone.
You may have one.
Sometimes I get shooting pain in my legs for no reason.
That'll happen.
Never-ending burning nerve pain.
You like neuropathy, you think?
Yeah.
You like twitching and whatnot in your extremities?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just not bad yet.
Right.
But like I have all these warning signs and like very little insurance.
Ain't that about a bitch? Yeah.
It's gonna like the check engine light is on. But I'm just like, okay. We're gonna reset the miles.
We're just gonna roll back the odometer, change the oil, put a little bit of electrical tape over that check engine light. Nobody has to know it's there.
It's scary. It's scary.
But like fucking that's
And I know like there's a lot of positivity in there in aging. But like
we talked last time. You asked me you asked me if I had some shit that was going on that wasn't young or something like that, and I immediately just snapped out hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoids are not fun.
And they're awful. I want so badly now, like as I approach becoming an old man, I want to fucking yell that at a kid if they're out be a little shit.
You just want to yell, "I have hemorrhoids"?
No, if some kid's being awful,
okay.
If some kid's being a little turd, I'm like, hey, I've got hemorrhoids older than you, kid. I don't want to hear.
Are they?
I'm dying to say that to somebody someday.
When do you think medical technology will advance to the point that we can get rid of hemorrhoids?
We already can. So there are treatments for them. They're just the treatments are horrible. So like you can do, so it's all surgical. You can either band them, so you wrap a very tight rubber band around them until they wither and die like a calf's testicles.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds great, right? Having that hanging out of your anus. Or you can cut them out. You can excise them and sew them up, so you now have stitching in your anus. Or you can run a wire through them and then get that wire red hot and pull it out, and it'll just cauterize them on the way out, and that'll seal them up. And so you just burn your anus. So are you gonna have dangling pieces of necrotic flesh, stitches, or a red hot wire up your asshole? Which one would you prefer?
This is the medical technology in the year 2021.
That's what we got. And here's the best part. Because
I bet the doctor probably tells people, yeah, we just go in there and get them.
Yeah, you don't want to fucking hear that shit.
Yeah.
The veins also go up into your colon, or up into your rectum there. They go up.
Of course they do.
And so, like, they usually come back after a minute. You can get rid of them for a little while, but they are apt to return. You know what I mean?
So it's just like keep them up there and just name them.
And just try to deal with them. Yeah. Use some hydrocortisone cream.
Fucking deal with
Eat a healthy fibrous diet.
Okay,
Don't spend too long in the toilet.
So once you've got hemorrhoids, you're gonna just have hemorrhoids.
You pretty much just have hemorrhoids, yeah. You can do everything you can to, like, make them not as bad and to abate getting more hemorrhoids. But, like, yeah. Yeah. The main thing that causes it with people is that they're spend a long time on the toilet. Especially, I know this is a stereotype with guys, that we like to use the bathroom as a library, and sitting like that and putting pressure.
Place.
Yeah,
you can read away from the women folk.
It's freeing. It's freeing to just be able to dump as you please. But like, yeah, you're putting pressure on your butt, and that puts pressure on those veins and causes them to bulge, and they start to distend.
that I'm pooping. So I usually don't take the book. I just read news.
Just on your phone?
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting depressed about the Taliban.
Dude, like, okay, so that's the thing, right? About, like, I don't want to think about... I keep getting these, like, terrible fucking thoughts about, like, my balls sagging. And, like, what that's gonna look like.
I swear to God, I did not know where you were going with this. I said the Taliban. And you're like, I keep getting these terrible thoughts. I'm like, okay,
no, I'm skipping world events.
About,
I'm skipping current events.
We were talking about reading the news.
No,
we were talking about pooping.
No, that's a fear. Because, like, does sitting on the toilet too long also I mean, like, the gravity can't be good for them. Should we be wearing little ball supports?
Like a little ball bra?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Should we?
No.
What do you do to stop that?
You don't. It's going to happen.
That sucks,
Also,
man.
there's some evidence to suggest that wearing a bra doesn't actually keep your boobs from becoming saggy. It may actually help that. How do you stop the sag? Saggy balls or saggy boobs?
Both.
Okay, well, saggy boobs is different than saggy balls because boobs are held up by suspensory ligaments called Cooper's ligaments, and so it's all about protecting those ligaments. And there's actually some evidence to suggest that not wearing a bra helps to keep them strong unless you have really, really big boobs, and then, depending on the fullness of them and where that fullness is, it can cause them to stretch and tear. And if you tear those Cooper ligaments, that's where you're going to get stretch marks and also saggy breasts. With balls, it's a totally different situation.
This is a skin sack.
Yeah, so, like, there's nothing you can do about it, man. You're going to have sag balls at a certain point. You're going to knock them between your knees. It's going to be all right.
And my nose is going to get longer.
Yeah, your nose and your ears never stop growing. Ever. So, like, that's going to be an issue, yeah.
Fuck.
There's going to be a time where you can use your balls like a bolo, catch robbers, fucking sling them about.
I hope I never, like, lose so much feeling in my testicles that I can, like, slap shit with them. That doesn't seem good.
Fucking, you can work up to that if you need to, but I don't think you
work up to it. Okay.
Need
good.
to.
Thank you. I'll work up to it. That's good advice from a good friend. I love that you said all that shit about science 5 minutes ago, but now you're like, you can figure out how to slap your balls against the counter. If
and
that's
not
what you
feel
want.
pain.
There's foods
Shaolin style.
There's foods you can't eat.
Yeah, so
there's
a whole thing about like how old people fucking like that that steamed carrot was a bit too spicy for me type of thing. I don't think that's going to be an issue because if anything, I've heard a lot of old folks talking about how they fucking can't taste anything.
I like spicy food a lot more now than I used to.
Likewise.
But also, I'm not old yet.
Yeah.
But I'm older.
I'm
older.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, man. It's terrifying. I wake up in the middle of the night. Sometimes I feel like my chest hurt a lot for a few seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm always just like waiting to see if my arm hurts too.
Uh-huh.
And like, oh, and also since I got my shot, the arm hurts like randomly for no reason anyway. So
that's also that. How long has it been? 2 weeks or so?
It's time to go get the other one.
That's normal. That's normal. If that happens for like a month, then
the microchip is dying.
Right.
Anyway,
my 5G's great.
It's reaching out for help.
But fucking,
I'd probably let somebody onboard me with a fucking cell network.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Now I got Wi-Fi forever, baby.
I'd be so into that. Oh my god, if I had to
I am the radio tower.
If I didn't have to worry about carrying my fucking wallet around, I could just fucking beat my fucking arm as a credit card.
That's the mark of the beast.
I'm so into the mark of the beast, yo. I'm so
actually
into
the mark of the beast. If anything, would have been paper money in the first place. If you really think about it,
I guess
it could be. Technically, it's so open ended that it can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah,
like everything in Revelations.
Yeah,
are they grasshoppers or helicopters in Nam? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, the trumpets.
Which one of the things?
I gotta stop. I'm like sitting here fucking like as I mock death.
Right.
Also, my back aches.
The fucking the Revelations is madness though. But like fucking the what was it saying about all this? We were talking about pendulous nads, and then we got on to
it's terrifying.
Why your arm hurts? Oh right. Two things. Number one,
when you get the chest things, it's more of a muscle spasm.
A lot of people get worried about that because like, oh, my chest.
I know
has been
it's
hurting.
nothing.
Yeah. If you're gonna have a heart attack, you will know that you're having a heart attack. Like if you have chest pain that's lasting for a long time, don't take it lightly. You know, go check it out if you're worried. But like, don't think, oh my god, I've been having a heart attack for the past 45 minutes because I have this. Like, you will fucking know.
But I'm not a smart man, dude. I walk the line, right? Like, I go to Brahms, I get the 4 cheeseburger, and then I'm eating the burger, and then my chest hurts, and I'm like,
Also,
take another bite of the burger, because it's fucking got 4 cheeses on it.
That is, you know what, though? You can't.
Delicious.
It's not like 3 cheeses are going to cut it.
No, 3 cheeses, that won't kill you.
But angina, is so ischemia is when you're blocking an artery and you're not getting the blood flow that you need downstream, and the tissues downstream are dying because they're not getting proper oxygen. So that's called ischemia. It's very painful. Angina is specifically ischemia in the coronary artery. So you're feeling this pain in your heart. Because when your heart pumps, it ejects blood out through your aorta. The very first thing that blood does is take a U-turn and go right back and nourish the heart, because that's the most important thing. So, like, all of it's going out, but there's an exit to go around your coronary arteries. Those coronary arteries get really small, and they're very easy. It's very easy for them to get clogged.
That's crazy. I never really thought about, like, the heart has to pump blood to itself.
Yeah, it's very important.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's really, obviously, it makes sense.
Right.
But
when
like,
you think about it.
Yeah, but I never ever thought of that. That's really interesting. So I'm sure that system can fail fucking fantastically.
Very easily. Because when you think about any like
thing,
it's
a perfect design.
Right? And that's fucking, oh man, I go on about that for a long time. Did I ever tell you?
And we are.
in my undergrad, I took this advanced physiology class, and they brought in a new instructor to run the lab, and she was the worst. And she fucking, on it was one of the first or second days, something like that, she was talking about how perfect the body is and all this shit. And I was like, hey, like, I didn't like interrupt her lecture or anything, okay? She was talking to me privately. And like, I was like, fuck it, I just don't think it's that perfect, because like, you got like the whole breathing hole right next to the eating hole. So like, what's that all about? That's fucking. And she got real fucking offended by that. And then she also said,
it makes sense, but it's not perfect.
Right. She also said, because she asked what I do, and I was like, I'm a science communicator. I get people excited about science. And she got on like how she teaches science. She's like, well, I want to make sure people are excited about physiology. But like, the thing is, Forrest, I can tell you all about how a baby develops. I can tell you every step of how a baby grows, but I can't tell you the magic that puts the soul in there. And I was like, we are not going to be friends, ma'am. I forgot how we...
It's fine. It's fine if you feel that way, but leave me the fuck alone about it.
I don't fucking remember asking you about that, lady. You were here to teach me science. Anyway, but the coronary arteries, yeah. When you think about it, you got any little thing, any little blood clot, what you call a thrombus, any little blood clot floating around in your circulatory system.
Is called a thrombus.
Yeah, a blood clot that is clogging up an artery is called a thrombus.
The sound of that makes me feel like I have it.
That's where you get you heard of like thrombosis, like deep vein thrombosis. It's a blood clot, clogging things up, being a problem.
I don't want those.
No, nobody does. They're horrible.
And you're probably gonna get them, right?
Yeah, well, no, probably. It's not probably. You can. They're not incredibly common.
I smoked cigarettes for a long time.
You're at risk, but like the
risk was being born, Forrest.
The most.
I gave myself higher chances.
Right. So like the thing is, your whole circulatory system is just tubes leading to smaller tubes leading to smaller tubes. These big arteries go to little tiny capillaries, which go to little tiny capriolas or whatever the fuck they're called. These things are like literally the smallest blood vessels are the width of a red blood cell. Like they're tiny. And so like, you okay?
Having a heart attack.
You're smoking.
No. I don't smoke anymore.
You're vaping. Idiot. Oh god.
It's not smoke, and this isn't a truth ad.
As you sit here dying on
I'll
the couch.
kindly ask you to step up off my dick, sir. We've been friends for how long?
We covered it a minute
ago. You know
I'm
dying. I know about your dying, too.
Keep track of each other. That's what we're here for.
To tally the final score. No, okay, I'm sorry.
You're fine. There could be only one. Bullshit kid from the academy.
What's one of the positive things about aging? Watching everyone else fall before you.
Crushing your enemies.
Seeing the light leaving old friends' eyes. As you buy out his company.
I was about to say, you tried to best me. Now your bones turn to oil beneath my living feet, and I will extract them for profit.
Fuck. That's why I need the robot body.
You gotta say properties with a full mouth. That's something that Ben and I learned in like 10th grade.
A long time ago.
The more full your mouth is when you say the word properties, the better it sounds. My properties. Properties.
That's something that you can get better with age as well, because the jowls increase.
The jowls are a big part of it. So we were talking about coronary artery disease. So these arteries can get clogged up real easy. And so what happens is you have I made a TikTok about this a little while ago and people enjoyed it, so maybe the people listening to this will like the details. You eat fatty, greasy foods, fried foods, really bad, really
stuff.
Yeah, right. The stuff that tastes the best, that's the worst. So anything, especially like fried, breaded things like that, are full of these things called low density lipoproteins.
Yeah.
And what they're able to do is inside your arteries. Oh, excuse me, I'm over here drinking soda, talking about health choices. So
we're not examples.
We're not. Do as I say, not as I do. But your arteries are made of several layers. The innermost layer is called your endothelium, and the low density lipoproteins are able to kind of slip and like absorb through that endothelium and like get underneath it, and so you end up with like this pile of fats basically.
They call that plaque on the commercials,
right?
They're like, this pill does something.
Yeah, so you're actually right. That's what's called a plaque. Mm-hmm. And so these plaques are really brittle and they can shatter. They can snap whenever your heart's beating really fast, and then you have a rip in your arterial wall. And so blood platelets come in to clog that up and make a blood clot. Problem is, blood platelets are very sticky. That's why like aspirin helps reduce the chance of like heart disease, because aspirin, one of the many things it does is it makes your blood platelets less sticky, and so they don't build blood clots inside your arteries as well. And so this blood clot grows and grows and grows. This is what we call a thrombus, occluding the artery, and slowly as it continues to occlude, it'll eventually completely occlude it. The last little blood clot piece just goes thump and gets stuck in there, and then boom, everything south of that blood clot is now dying and not working anymore, and all of those cells are going to shut down, and that's called a heart attack, a myocardial infarction.
Fucking like any of what you just said. It causes me physical distress.
And so you have some dude grab his chest and drop to the floor.
You have this new thing called body anxiety that started about a week ago.
Yeah, and then you got to get him to the cath
literally
lab.
A week ago,
right? And then you got to get that person to the cath lab so you can fucking shove a catheter through that artery and like jam it open. Or you can do an angioplasty where you put this little net in there to hold it open so that it doesn't collapse on itself or like build any more plaques or anything like that. Or you can do clot busters, but clot busters may also kill you if you use them wrong, so you have to be careful of that.
Good. I hope everyone who uses this stuff is trained not to fuck it up and also slept.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, is make sure that doctors like have fucking sleep and not stress. Wouldn't that be great?
Work them for 18 days straight. And if they don't kill enough people.
And here's the terrifying thing. Here's where it really gets scary. Is that you can work on the thrombi. The thrombi, you can like reduce your risk of having that. You can take medicines to make sure that your platelets aren't sticky. When you have atherosclerosis, which literally means the hardening of the artery, that's the plaques. Yeah. Plaques are called atherosclerosis. That's the syndrome of having plaques.
Is it like coating the artery essentially?
It's strictly speaking, like I say, it's underneath the inner lining, but yeah, it's coating the artery, you could say.
Okay, so it's like forcing its way inside the artery and lining it.
Yeah.
Either way, it's like turning it into Kevlar.
Because like you can like seriously, atherosclerosis when you see it like I've worked on a bunch of cadavers that have really really bad atherosclerosis.
It sounds like it's making you stronger, but it's not.
Well, it's rigid. It's making your body more rigid.
That's a lot of aging.
But you can like literally like you can crunch through it, man. It feels like you're cracking through
you've done it.
Yeah. Oh, dude, seriously. Yeah, no. There's your descending aorta. It runs right along your spine. I've worked on fucking several cadavers where you can like just press with your thumb and it's like all the way down. I worked on one. The last cadaver I worked on. It's kind of
fun, isn't it?
Oh, it's phenomenal. The last one that I worked on
this isn't a human body sound. Crunch.
In my undergrad, I cut this dude's heart out and I shoved my finger down into his aorta and I pulled out a fucking just massive thrombus, just ripped it out of his fucking aorta. It was the size of the fucking top of my thumb.
Jesus Christ.
Like this massive blood clot just in there, and it was just hard as can be, and you could like break it open. It was real brittle and weird, and that's also a problem because it's so brittle, a chunk of that can break off and go fucking like it plugs up one of your an artery in your lungs. Boom, pulmonary embolism, you're gonna die. Or it can go up into your fucking brain. Boom, you have a stroke. You're gonna die. Or it can go down into your another major artery in your body. Plug that up. Boom, you're gonna lose half your leg. Like, and there's no way you can fix it in time. There's no way you can get something in there to fix that in the time it's gonna take to like not lose a tremendous amount of tissue past that point. Like, it's crazy.
I don't want to. It hurts.
Here's the scary thing. Like I said, you can take all sorts of things for the thrombi. Atherosclerosis cannot be reversed.
What is it?
That's the plaques.
You get it no matter what?
No, you don't get it no matter what, but once you have it, you have it.
How do you not get it?
Don't eat fucking fried greasy foods.
Is there a safe amount of fried greasy foods?
Not really, but like you can do some, you just have to be careful and eat moderately and exercise.
There is no be careful though.
There's no way to be super healthy in today's world. Because like that, also barbecue. Barbecue is horrible for you.
Oh, it's so good.
Right? I'm gonna go eat some probably after this. It's so good.
You have barbecue?
No, but there's like 7 good barbecue places down the road because we live in Oklahoma.
We do live in Oklahoma, and people sleep on Oklahoma.
There's Billy Ray's, there's Billy Sims. If you think I'm joking, no, those are 2 real places that are within a couple miles of each other.
All the Billies.
We got Rib Crib. We got
That's not barbecue.
It's pretty good.
It's okay.
We got fucking we have a million of them. We have fucking Oklahoma Joe's. We got Dickies. We have a million barbecue joints over here. They're all fucking terrible for you, but they're all fucking good. And like that's shit, man. I remember one of the first cadaver labs I worked in was at OSU Medical Center, and there was literally just this dude. He was a doctor. He's in there training all these fucking kids, and he's walking around. He's like, "That right there is why you don't eat barbecue. That right there is why you don't smoke. That right there." And fucking the last this one time I was working on this guy, and I pulled out his lungs, and his lungs were fucking just gray and black and slimy. I was like, "Oh, this dude's a smoker." And the the person teaching the class, who was a master's in anatomy, he's like, "No, it wasn't. He just lived in a major city." That's what your lungs look like when you live in downtown Tulsa.
Good times.
Yeah, and fuck.
But that's one of those to do a callback for just a second. That's one of those big problems that there's not an immediate solution to.
Well, that's what I was saying when you were like, is there a healthy amount of greasy food? There's not a healthy amount of anything that we can do in this fucking world. So I guess enjoy yourself, but make sure you're exercising and trying to eat right.
Man, you can just do it a little. All you can do is make it less shitty, maybe.
Precisely. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. And we should be wrapping up, so I'll say one more thing, and I'll see if you have anything. It's the one other thing is that as far as this is kind of off topic, but as far as exercise and body weight and all these other things are concerned, healthy living kind of is an expansive topic. A lot of that has to do with genetics. So just make good choices. Habits are so much better and more important than results. Don't worry about the numbers on the scale. Don't worry about the fucking shape that you're in. Don't worry about what muscles you can or can't see. Worry about healthy habits and you will be so much better off than some fucking cretin that goes to the gym 80 times a week and has to fucking, work out for 3 hours a day.
It's actually, it's totally possible to look like the same way you kind of look now, and also have made incredibly huge leaps and bounds with your healthy habits.
Yeah, and there's also, it's incredibly possible to be a very unhealthy person and look like a fucking, beach-going bodybuilder type.
You gotta put those...
If you have the genes for that kind of muscle development and that low fat.
You gotta put those things on your feet and get out all the toxins.
The foot
Genshi
pads.
or whatever.
Yeah. I'm making a
what is
video
it
about
called?
those. I don't remember. I'm making a video about those this week, probably.
Tree shoes.
Yeah.
Tree pads. Feet pads. Because you're a tree.
Because you're a tree.
And that's true, really, if you think about it.
Being a tree?
Yeah, because you stand in one spot all day, never moving, rooted to the ground.
Humans, if anything, are sessile.
You make food from the sun. What else do trees do? You get hard. I know I do. Someday I won't.
Yeah.
That's terrifying, too, because that could happen anytime.
It doesn't happen to everybody.
What if you got a thrombosis in your dick?
Your dick would rot off.
Does that happen to people?
I'm sure it does.
I bet it's happened to someone. God damn it.
Yeah.
Dude, you get a heart attack in your dick?
Dick attack. Well, the whole thing about getting an erection, it's not actually... A lot of people think that you're, like, trapping blood in there. It's actually the opposite. There's
You're just putting more.
Yeah, it's opening up the blood vessels, and that's how erectile tissue works. You also have, like, 3 different kinds of tissue in your dick. You have the cavernous tissue, and then you have the spongy tissue, your urethra is broken up into several different parts. You know the male urethra is like fucking 5 times longer than the female urethra, and it's not because of our penises, it's because of our penis, and then it wraps up and goes up into our prostate, and then branches out from there. And so, like, you've got the prostatic urethra, and then the urethra in your penis called the spongy urethra, and then you got, like, this descending connecting...
Why?
Whereas the females... Women, literally, their fucking bladder is basically sitting on their on the opening of their pelvis. Like, your urethra is like fucking a few, maybe a centimeter or two. It's tiny, tiny urethra in a female. But in a male, we get this long fucking dumbass tube. And you know why that's a problem? For females, not for males. For males, we have this long dumbass tube, which is able to clean itself out pretty effectively. But for females, the whole thing is basically exposed to the elements, and you get UTIs all the goddamn time. Fucking stupid.
Damn.
Oh, it's a whole problem, man. I could go on about dumbass shit.
So really, we will be replacing our genitals in the future.
Man, if more women had dicks, I think they'd be happier with the whole situation. It's so much more convenient.
How would you feel about it?
If more women having penises?
Yeah, I'm curious.
I'd be indifferent. It's not my dick. I don't gotta worry. You worry about your own dick.
I just think, like, if more women have penises, that increases the chance that you will find a woman with a penis.
Well, yeah. Right.
In this world where everyone has a dick, what if everyone had a dick?
Yeah. What if everyone had a dick?
It'd be fine.
It'd be fine.
But as we said before, like, men are the ones going extinct.
I keep hearing that, and, like, I don't... Man.
I bet we do. It'd be easier to get rid of us than them.
That's true.
They have more of the shit that you need than we do.
That is accurate. Yeah.
Their bodies would just have to start doing what our bodies do.
And that's not terribly difficult. Like, all
that doesn't take as much as, like, our like fucking shit, like finding a way to make a baby cavern.
Yeah, that is the truth. Is that, like, all you need to do is make sperm cells, and you can make those out of, like, fucking bone marrow. You can make egg cells out
I don't know
like,
why
skin.
it would happen, but I'm just saying it like...
You can make egg cells as well, but, like, you're right, to make a whole womb would be way more difficult.
An environmental pressure, I guess.
Yeah.
Which...
We could be like anglerfish. You know, anglerfish reproduce? The male just bites onto the backside of the female and fucking dies. And just fuses to the female. And then the female just has, essentially, a testicle hanging off of her backside. The male literally just bites on and perishes. And his body fuses to the female. All of his organs and everything wither away. And he is just a testicle hanging off the side.
At the risk of sounding like a simp, I mean...
Yeah. Well, how many men out there would be just fine with that?
Yeah,
a lot of men would be just fine with that. A lot of women would be just fine with that.
Your final thought is, passed on my genetic material.
You get to bite onto an ass and just die, and you're done. It's easy. We'll get more into weird animal sex next time.
Life is complicated. We're going to get into animal sex?
Yeah, no, we're going to have a whole podcast. The first podcast, we talked about practical applications of bestiality, and we never went on with it. We got to come back. We got to circle back around.
And I'm Ben.
I'm Forrest. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have an awesome rest of your week. Let us know how dumb this whole thing is in the comments below. And hey, we're going to get a computer soon, and we're going to get a camera soon. Let us know. Do you still want full video of the podcast, or would you rather we turn this into a gaming channel and play video games, and we'll be like the Game Grumps talking about shit while playing? I'm
already trying to do a gaming thing.
What if we did one?
It's just taken me a year and a half to launch it.
Or we'll just keep doing what we're doing. I'm honestly just bullshitting.
We could do one.
I'm honestly just bullshitting. But what if we did?
We could give a lot of people.
What if a couple episodes we did just for fun?
We'll see what the fuck we do.
Have an awesome rest of your day.
We'll record some things for YouTube.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Fuck you.
Go. If you're not already subscribed, then you're probably smart. But
we've already grown too powerful. Don't hit the like.
We need 1,000 subscribers.
Oh yeah. We need everything I said. I take back. Please subscribe.
Please God.
And share.
I'll see you later. Bye.
Plug the merch.
Oh yeah, we have merch. Sorry, real quick, we have merch. It's on my thing.
Have we ever done that?
Come back around?
No, talked about shirts.
Oh yeah, we have 2 t-shirts. They're for sale in the merch store.
Thank you. That's it. That's all you gotta say.
I don't even
tell them it's there.
I don't even think we link the merch store in the descriptions anymore. You go to my channel and it's there. Just fucking go.
Good luck finding our merchandise, you fools.
Yeah, if you can find a t-shirt, then you win the prize of you get to buy a t-shirt.
No, fuck this podcast. So.
Goodbye.